Hey guys, welcome to the Revenue Accelerator with your host, Kat Stancic. I have someone here who you guys know will introduce themselves because they always do a better job than I do. She is actually going to show you a lot as it relates to what money you're leaving on the table based off of some actions and inactions that you guys are doing and not doing. Erica, introduce yourself. Tell us what makes you so amazing.
Well, thank you, Kat. Thank you for having me. My name's Erica Duran, and I'm an international business coach and lifestyle mentor. So I'm also a minimalist, a hardcore minimalist. And so I really bring those philosophies into business as well. So there's not a lot of busy work. There's not a lot of chaos and things like that. So yeah. And
Yeah,
a
how does
full-time digital nomad too.
that work for you? I have 3 kids. Minimalism is just not something that I knew even existed anymore.
Yeah, and I like to say minimalist luxury because a lot of minimalists out there are like backpacker, vagabond type people,
They smell.
and I'm not not that.
We're thinking like, Unabomber kind of like out in the
Yeah.
woods, kind of re-leveraging things that they probably shouldn't. That's not you. You have definitely a presence. So
Thank
how does
you.
one live minimally, but within luxury?
Yeah, so I mean, I guess growing up, my mom was a travel agent, and so she would always take me on her trips with her. And there was these gorgeous, gorgeous resorts, and I would just at 5 years old think that I don't have any of my stuff here, my toys or
Mm.
anything, and I'm having a better time here. than it was just like that's that realization when I was just five, and I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's a lot more new and interesting things to do. So I like that of like, it's not necessarily about doing with less, but really creating new experiences.
Right.
So which is what you kind of, there's a little bit of a leap there, but you help your clients have better experiences too by helping them do what you are brilliant at, and fill us in on what you're brilliant at doing.
Yeah, I'm really brilliant at cutting through their BS. So a lot of people think I'm a productivity expert, and I really did start out marketing myself that way. But when you get down to the basis of it, productivity is just, it's usually because of a fear that people are procrastinating or not doing what they're supposed to
Shh,
do
why are you
or
sharing
not.
my secrets?
Yeah. Or they're not reaching out on LinkedIn, or they're not building their Facebook group, or they're not getting on a Facebook Live.
So you're
Um,
telling me that the pile of laundry that I need to do and fold right now isn't more important than the stuff I should
is
be.
a mindset issue. Yeah. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. So it's just like, like we were talking before the show, if I was teaching weight loss, I would really deep down at the root of it be teaching mindset.
Mm.
So a lot of it is, call calling them out in a classy way to get them to see for themselves what they're not doing, and that is leaving money on the table.
Mm.
And also just this circular reference, I guess, of you're procrastinating, so then you feel bad about yourself, so then your mindset sucks, and then you procrastinate some more because you're demotivated from your bad
Mm.
mindset. So
That's what direct correlation to the America and its obesity problem right now.
yeah. Right, yeah.
So what's something that you see, because, people talk about mindset. I was just talking about this with someone else the other day. I love it when someone goes, well, that's just a mindset issue, and they turn around and walk away. And I'm like, right. Okay, fine. I will give you credit that I probably have some kind of mindset issue. What helps with people going, from that place of stuck into a place where they are more productive and focused? Because one of the things you actually just said, tangent real quick, was your people know what they need to do. Most of us know what we need to do, especially when it comes to business, but we're not doing it, right? So that's the stuck place. So what's something that can help someone get out of that spinning their wheels, staying, in that cycle like you were talking about?
Yeah, well, I have a process called alignment with Aloha, and it's basically a certain way of journaling. And a lot of coaches do the ideal day exercise, like in the beginning in their welcome packet, where you write out your ideal day and in great detail. But that doesn't work because it's one time event. Maybe you do it once a quarter and you check
Yeah.
in on your ideal day, but your your crappy mindset is every day. Like you have to keep doing it every
You went
day.
there. I
So
love
the monkey mind is every day. So we have this journaling process that I just called Alignment with Aloha that helps them, every morning hone in on their ideal goals and dreams and lifestyle so that they are pumped up before they tackle their to-do list or Trello board.
Mm. Yeah, no, well, I mean, it has a lot to do with how do you start the day, right? I was reading something about someone who starts a day, reading someone, maybe it might be me, who, turned over in bed. And basically the first thing I do is, look at my phone and like, there's the news or there's Facebook. I've since stopped doing that, but I used to. And it does, it affects the rest of your day and how you start on it. I mean, it's not called starting off on the wrong foot for a reason. What can someone do with knowing? So what's the resistance between knowing that, they know probably that starting your day in a positive way is great and they're still not doing it? Like, what's that about?
Yeah, still habitually checking the phone and everything. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
it is just a habit. It's hard to break a bad habit. It's
Mm.
easier to add things in that are positive.
Ah.
So it's hard. Let's just use a simple example. It's hard to stop eating poorly if you're not used to cooking and preparing meals and everything. It's hard, but if you add positive things in, like watching the Food Network or something, or clipping some magazine recipes or something like that, and starting to build that habit of adding good things in instead
Mm.
of trying to just focus on taking the bad thing out, or you checking your phone every morning. Instead, why don't you go for a walk in the beautiful park or garden or something, instead of checking the phone and getting depressed from the news and everything. So I always think it's so hard to quit a bad habit, but
I
it's
love
easier
that.
to start something that sounds fun or new or
Yeah. And there's only so much space, right? So eventually that other habit, you've got something, it's the pleasure versus pain motivation, right? So
right,
some
right.
people motivated by pain, a lot of people are, right? But what's more longer lasting? It's that seeking that pleasure and bringing more of that into our life and wherever we can. So what are some recommendations that you have for someone who's, I want to be more productive. I get it. If I was more productive, I guess I would make more money. I guess I would be more successful in life. But they're in that guessing. They're still like not doing it mode.
Yeah, and that overwhelm is part of a lot of procrastination. Like people are like, they're overwhelmed with technology. They're like, I don't know how to build a 20-step funnel. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. And that just ends up being a procrastination. But I usually take like 80% of the things off of people's lists when they start working with me. I'm
Hashtag
like,
minimalism. I
yeah, you
love
don't need, yeah, even in their to-do list, like most of them don't even have a to-do list because I think it's more beneficial to build in reoccurring like day
it.
theming or time blocks where every Monday you write your newsletters for the month, and then every 3 hours on Tuesday and Thursdays when you do your outreach all the time. And yeah, it's going to change and things are going to come up and get in the way, but at least you have these reoccurring time blocks. Some people just make time blocks but they don't make them recurring.
Yeah.
So yeah,
No,
I
I
think
love that because look at that, guys. Like, take this high level predictability and consistency in your day equals consistency and predictability in your income.
right.
I'm just going to lay that down for you guys. You can pause it right here and think about that. But think about, how does your day reflect your income? Because though, I'm having a mind explosion moment right now. If you all can't energetically feel it or hear it or see me actually mind melding. Um, but it is, I hadn't really correlated how you show up in your day to day as a direct reflection of how you can generate more and more income. So what are some things that you see people doing as like lovely self-sabotaging behavior?
Well, what I teach is the paid for your presence method, and that's basically a way to host events and sell
Mm.
one to many instead of having 50 strategy calls all day long or discovery calls all day long. So in that, I see, just for an example on a small level, my clients not setting the dates for their events, not
Mm.
switching their topic 5 times, instead of just going for it, setting the date, trying a topic and tweaking from there. They are, again, it's the fear and the mindset, afraid to do it wrong, or what if nobody shows up, or what if I do all this work and nobody buys? Like, it's like a never ending cycle of excuses there.
Yeah, no, but that's like, I love that. And I love the name of your program in terms of pay for performance and
Oh,
showing
presence. Yeah,
presence.
presence.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's actually much
Same
better than
thing.
what I had in my head. But the concept of actually going through and doing it and not being tied to the perfection component of, if I
Right.
don't have everything set up perfectly, you can reset the dominoes, a little bit closer or at a better angle so that all of them get knocked down the next, time you put the effort into it. So what are some more things that you're seeing people do as, kind of sabotaging behavior?
Uh, Actually following too many coaches and gurus and all too
Yeah.
closely, because they don't see everything. It's impossible to see what that person's doing. You don't see
Mm.
them doing the outreach or writing the emails, or you might just be in one funnel and you don't see everything they're doing. You don't see their team working on
For
what
the
they're doing.
20 years it took them to like get to
Yeah.
that place.
Yeah. So you're following someone at like the multi-million dollar mark with this huge team, and you're not doing the things they did to get there. You're
Mm,
just like modeling them done finished,
right.
and so that's why a lot of people don't get the results, because they didn't see the the hard work and the hustle in the beginning. They just want to model what's working right now.
And then it
And
doesn't pay
yeah,
off. And so they switch gears and they follow this person and they're doing that thing that you're talking about, what was self-sabotaging behavior of just starting and stopping so many things and not staying focused and really seeing a strategy all the way through.
yeah, and any strategy out there will work. You just have to do it and stay consistent. I mean, webinars work, um, Facebook ads work, LinkedIn work, like everything works. It's just picking what's right for you and what you enjoy doing, which is
Mhm.
another thing that decreases procrastination. If you hate webinars, then don't. Why are you in a webinar course?
I have seen that so many times. Just like, why are
Yeah.
you doing this? I want to make the money. This is not the way to make the money. You have a way of making money that's much more in ease and flow and productive. So how do you marry minimalism in your life and how you've kind of grown up with being a minimalist in business?
Yeah, a lot of it is really being mindful of the activities you're doing and the messages that you're putting out there.
Mm.
A lot of it is taking away. I see a client that has 15 programs and 4 levels in each program, or
Oof.
they're everywhere on social media, and it's just scattered. And instead of honing it into, let's just do a few things really, really well and get your name out there in this one way.
Mm.
And a focus, it's a lot of it's focus. I mean, decluttering websites is kind of how I first started out, was decluttering their websites way back in the day. And just really cleaning up the extra to-dos and chaos and activities. It's
Mm.
just like a constant buzzing. A lot of that too is outsourcing some things and getting some and automating some tasks. Just for example, one of my clients asked me, I don't want to use a social media scheduler because I was in this class and people said if you use them, you don't get as much reach. And I go, well, if I didn't use my social media scheduler, you would not see any social media from me.
Right. So
So it's
which
a
is
question.
worse?
Yeah. Is it worse that you won't get as high up as you think you will? And that's probably not even true. or or use the scheduler and actually get your social media done.
So funny, like, but you're hitting on something else that's like really important, is looking at how we do business based off of something that someone said.
Mhm.
Maybe not even something that and you were talking about like that thing, that rule might apply to someone who's actually probably lower on the totem pole than someone who's higher on the totem pole. And the person who's higher on the totem pole really has someone that they can directly, have say your job is basically to post up at a certain time on a specific date, but they're paying that resource. So I love this, leveraging what you can in your business and really staying focused on certain components. So what are you seeing people waste their time on in terms of focus, and where do you think people should be paying attention to in their business?
Yeah, I kind of sum it up with my clients is that if you're wasting time on things that people will never see. So
Mm,
tweaking things in the back end, working on your website, um,
those are so
yeah,
important though.
redoing your bio 10 times, filming an intro to a podcast 20 times because you didn't get it perfect. So then again, we're talking about perfectionism again, but focusing on the things that people see. So
Mm,
live interviews, this kind of stuff, being on a microphone, being on a phone, engaging in a Facebook group, reaching out on LinkedIn, like people see that stuff. And if you
right.
can just focus on, like, I want my clients to get their platform set up and their program set up and their pricing down and not second guess themselves so that they can move on and quit tweaking their program and do the rest of the actual sales part.
Right. That part that makes you money in your business. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
So many people just don't do any sales and they're building for like 3 months to years. And then they're like, I see them when they get it finally done. And then they're like, now what? Oh,
or 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 they launch it and no one buys, and they're like, I
yeah,
spent all this time and all this money building and no one's here. And it's just like, yeah,
right,
because one of the most important things, at least that I talk about with my clients too, is you want to be paid to create, right?
right,
So don't sell something first and create it for that person because that's something they're willing to buy versus what you think they want to buy. And that just comes having done it.
yeah, yeah,
And realizing that that doesn't work. And then I love the experience of, oh shit, someone bought it. Now I got to create
yeah,
it. But someone bought it, right? And now you've
right,
got what you need to focus on, and then you've got something that you can re-leverage, which is part of what you talk about too, is making sure that you're re-leveraging success and re-leveraging things that work versus trying to tweak things that, you don't know if the bridge is out, essentially. So how
right.
can people get in touch with you and learn more about what you do, and, you leveraging the power of focusing and productivity in order to generate more money in their business?
Yeah, my main website is ericaduran.co and it has links to all the social media and the podcasts and everything. So that's like the main hub. And then probably Instagram's probably the prettiest way to know.
Platform I haven't fully leveraged yet. But yes, there are some people that are, and you're demonstrating exactly of pick something, go all in, master it, leverage it, and then you can start going and doing things like you said, LinkedIn and all that, in order to repurpose and re-leverage content and using those very smart repurposing tools that you mentioned. Any parting words with people who are feeling stuck or who are trying to get into that place of action?
Just, another piece of my paid for your presence method that we kind of touched on, but I just want to remind people is you're not being paid for your presence as in like you're a diva, but you're paid for your presence in you're doing things because you're present in the moment and that's what people
Mm,
see. They don't see the behind the scenes thing. So being on a microphone, being on a phone, typing in a group, engaging are the points that people should be spending at 80% or more of their time on,
yes.
in especially in the beginning.
Yeah. I mean, marketing and sales, right? Like you talked about, focusing on those activities 80% of the time. And yes, there's client delivery in there, but you got to be selling in order to deliver, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Erica, thank you so much for joining us today. I really, really appreciate it, guys. Make sure you check it out, ericaduran.com.
Oh,
ERIC.
.co.
.co. Damn it. I always screw up something.
Yeah.
It's okay. ericaduran.co. And Duran is spelled Duran, Erica, the normal way. ERICA. I could have probably spelled that from first name to last name, but I do things differently. All right, guys. Thanks for checking us out. Erica, again, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much.